I don't know. I hate to take it political. Indulge me.
Sure.
But the fight got taken to me. All right? The fight got taken to me. And I can't just sit back with my boys in my honor.
To
my
your front
people.
door.
To my front door, you bring this fight? You spray paint snowflake cock on my car? I got an article from the New York Times. It's from January of 1984. I'm not afraid to go there. It happened. It's called Trump Building the Generals in His Own Style. This is about a 37-year-old man. His name's Donald Trump. I guess he was living in New York. He purchased a USFL football team called the New Jersey Generals. So they were asking him about, hey, you want a professional football team? Crazy. Tell me about that. I've always enjoyed sports, starting from the time I was a kid. I was always the captain of the high school team. My favorite is football. Cool. I could have bought an NFL team. There were 3 or 4 available that still are available, including, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. At the time, the 80s, not the best decade for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys were, in fact, for sale. I could have bought an NFL club for $40 million or $50 million, but it's established, and you would just see it move laterally. Not enough to create there.
Fucking
okay.
idiot. So what
I'm listening. I'm listening to you. Seem to be a successful person. Tell me more about this lateral move. But the New Jersey Generals, he thought, that's different.
Oh, my God.
That's different, because I know. Listen to me. It's 84. The league is in its infancy. It could be more profitable, given that the less than $10 million he bought it for could help build a team that he hopes could challenge the NFL, thereby be worth a neighborhood of at least $50 million. Mm-hmm. I feel sorry for the poor guy who's going to buy the Dallas Cowboys. Do you really? Sorry, I feel sorry for the poor guy who's going to buy the Dallas Cowboys. It's a no-win situation for him. Because if he wins, well, so what? They've won through the years. And if he loses, which seems likely because they're having troubles, he'll be known to the world as a loser. Oh, God. 5 years later, in February of 1989, a 46-year-old, an old wildcatter, out in the fields, the oil fields, got his hands dirty. Jerry Jones stepped in to buy this whatever this league, this lateral whisper of a fucking thing. Bought the team for $140 million. Now, 5 years earlier, this bad boy was for sale around 40 to 50. 5 years later, he gets it for $140 million. It's now worth $4.2 billion. The Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable sports franchise in the fucking world. That includes Real Madrid. It includes all fucking European soccer teams. The most profitable, the most valuable sports franchise in the world. Lateral move. Jerry Jones isn't being inducted into the Hall of Fame next month. That fucking loser. I feel bad for that fucking poor loser that's going to take $140 million and turn it into $4 billion and then be in the Hall of Fame and then win 3 Super Bowls. You fucking loser.
Whatever happened to that
USFL was around for... Thank you, Jonathan, for asking. Thank you, Jonathan, for asking. The USFL...
they last like 3 years.
Well, they last, Jonathan, exactly 1983, 1984, and 1985. So he buys the Generals in 1984 for the 84 and 85 season. Now, there was a 30 for 30 ESPN documentary that aired in October of 2009, if anybody wants to dip in on Netflix. It's called Small Potatoes. Who killed the USFL? Let me tell you who killed the USFL. Now, they played their seasons in the spring. And this man, let me look at his name again. It says Donald Trump, who owns this team, he got all of the owners together and he convinced them that they should play the same time as the NFL.
To go right up against them.
Do not play in the spring. We go right up and we go right against them because we got the real league. So after this season, after
fucking guy is just
he gets all the owners together and he says, "Here's the plan. Listen to me. I'm a fucking businessman. I got a small loan from my dad. I'm a businessman. Listen to me. We're going to sue the NFL for violating antitrust laws."
What, based on
the monopoly of the NFL. So we will sue them. We will win. I'm a businessman. Listen to me. He said one of two things will happen. Either the NFL will let the USFL merge into the NFL like they did with the AFL in 1970, where the league became so big, they
had no choice.
All right, you're in. Took these two leagues. You're now part of this. Or what he really wanted, we learned, is they would win an enormous settlement and he would get money. And that's what he wanted. They took them to court. A jury awarded the USFL. The jury said, "We find in favor of you. They do violate antitrust laws. We're going to give you a check for $1." So the jury awarded the USFL a $1 check, and the league folded before they started the 1986 season. Good work.
Wait, why did they do? Why did the court do that though?
Good job.
I don't understand why the court did that.
Good job. Congratulations. Here's $1 and your league folded. So you did it. You have good ideas that work properly.
That's just like so wrong on so many fronts.
They ultimately, the check was for $3.76 million. They paid for the attorney fees and such,
the legal
over
fees.
time. So yeah. So they didn't merge. They were not awarded money. The league couldn't even start its next season because they didn't have a television deal, because the idea they had ESPN, they were going to go right against the NFL. It fell apart before the season started in September, and it ended. Mr. Jones, I'm sorry I had to you don't go after my boy like that. So again, he bought a team in 1989 for $140 million. And it's 28 years later, it's worth $4.2 billion, and he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. That fucking poor loser.
Yeah, he's like that dude's he's like just a legendary saboteur. It's like an all-time saboteur status. That's like his whole thing is just dragging people into like complete abject chaos, somehow convincing them that there's an idea here. But I think it's just he somehow, because he's at the helm of it, he scurries out and winds up
late,
and everyone else just is left to deal with just the mess, the fucking mess. It's wild.
Sorry I had to go there, but he took it in 1984.
It's just every fucking business thing he's ever done is like that, though. I mean, whatever he's doing, what he's doing to us in this country. But I'm just saying,
a boy at the time, and I didn't know. And I was reading the New York Times in '84.
It's like this.
We can unearth these things. It's the beautiful internet. We can go back.
Anyway,
I feel bad for that poor loser in that lateral move.
This is not a political podcast.
But
we should
when
be.
a dear friend
Apparently
of mine,
they do way better than we do.
When a dear friend of mine is besmirched like that, Mr. Jones, thank you. I'm on Hobart. If you any tickets you'd like to roll by,
it's coming to your defense.
Any luxury suites that we have left around.
33 years later.
Kate Bosworth and I in the box. It's all good.